Good day and welcome to Predators Proclivity. Wow, surprised myself turning the recording on there. Another video. Predators Proclivity, where we look at data from the season for the NHL Nashville Predators and make comments upon it. I'm your host, Preston Proctor. Very excited today. We've got two road games. Going to cover them both. They're in a back-to-back situation. They're playing tonight, Friday, and tomorrow night. Only against two of the best teams in the league, both teams leading their respective division. Colorado playing tonight's opponent, the top in the league, the NHL, and then tomorrow night, the Vegas Golden Knights. Both of those teams were playing at their arena, 7 o'clock local time. So 8 o'clock here in Nashville tonight, 9 o'clock tomorrow night. Stay up late with the Preds tomorrow night. And yeah, Vegas, I think right now is 8th in the league. So two, and both teams squarely first in their divisions. The Colorado's squarely first wherever the heck it is. It's, in the league, the conference, the division, squarely where it is. Good for them. Programming note, I just wanted to note, next week, my brother is going to be in town, and he said he wanted to be on the podcast. So I don't know what we're going to do. He's not very hockey literate. He has some ideas, but he is going to be in town, coming into town on Thursday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine the Ottawa and Utah games next week, Thursday, Saturday, and I will have my regular, both of those are home for the Preds, so that makes it easier. So I'm going to do both of those games together, and then there might be a bonus episode, depending upon whether he really wants to come in here. He says he wants to come in here and ask me a bunch of questions. So he listens to the podcast, but he's not hockey literate. So it could be interesting to some of the questions he asks me. Some things I take for granted. I might have to even look them up. I know there's some things I really wish. I really need to get in touch with Jim Fox out there in L.A. I think he's a really good resource, and I appreciate his opinion. It's very thoughtful. And when I have questions, I always think, gosh, I should go back and ask him, but then I forget what the questions are. Anyway, longtime Kings play-by-play? Color announcer. Anyway, played for the Kings way back when, and now he does color commentary. And doesn't, whenever he sees something on the ice, he says he calls the NHL office and asks for clarification on calls, and then he tells us, what the ruling is and why the ruling was and his opinion on that, and based upon the rules, and really tries to educate the TV audience with regards to hockey rules and history and those types of things. And I really appreciate it, and I really miss it. I guess I could be watching Kings games, but I don't. I guess they're on Fox Pacific Southwest or whatever, and I don't get that. And so even if I was watching Kings games, I would probably get whatever NHL announcers, and it would just frustrate me even more. So, okay, now I'm talking about the Kings. I may as well be honest. I am today's wardrobe choice. I just take things off the top of the stack. And if they match, they match. So today I've got my purple long sleeve LA Kings t-shirt on. I think I've got paint on it. I think I've painted in this thing a couple of times. But anyway, I know it's the Predators podcast, and all I've done is talk about the Kings here. But those of you that have followed regularly, initially I was just an NHL fan. I didn't pull for any team, pulled for all teams. whatever team, whatever city I was in. I traveled a lot, and my deal, if you travel, I traveled every week of the year, usually Sunday through Friday, and you have to come up with different routines when you're doing that kind of thing in order to maintain any sort of semblance of normality. And one of the things that I would do is I'd go to whatever hockey game. If there was a hockey game in town, I would go. I'd get the best seat that they had at the end of a row in the aisle, and whether it be minor league or major league, whatever. And like I think I've mentioned before, one of my favorite memories of being at a hockey game is in St. Louis. I think Chicago was in town. I forget. It was just at I was talking to somebody from St. Louis a couple of months ago, and she said, "Oh, that must have been the old arena." And yeah, the old arena, and it was just fabulous. The energy and the excitement. I think Brett Hull was still playing for St. Louis. It was one of my favorite memories. And that was just a regular season game, I'm pretty sure. Another favorite memory was when the Kings were in the playoffs playing Detroit and going to a playoff game. And if I'm betting anybody that's listening to this has been to a hockey game. If you haven't been to a hockey game, you ought to go. Hockey is way different in person than it is on TV. It's just you get to see players coming on and off the ice, and you here in Nashville we sit in the corner, and I like to be able to see the entire ice without having to look left and right. So sitting on the center it gets confusing it doesn't get confusing, but I don't really feel like I get the whole experience. I don't. So I like sitting in the corner. I prefer to be sitting on the side across from the benches. It's not where we have typically been sitting here in Nashville. But we, I think it's going to the hockey game is just a lot better than watching it on TV. And if you're only going to go to one, go to a playoff game, because playoff games are so exciting, and the energy is just even more ramped up. And I assume it's that same way for other sports. I've never been to a playoff game for any other sport. Excuse me. But there you go. So where are we and what are we doing? Anyway, so that's the upcoming schedule for me, and maybe a little bit long-winded, but that's how I go. Be kind of interesting. Have my brother in here. The thing that's kind of interesting is when I listen to my he listens to this, so if I haven't told him this, he'll find it out one way or another. Sometimes I think I'm listening to him talk. I didn't realize how similar we sound. And I don't know if he would take that as a compliment or as just a really big slam, but there you go. Or maybe it is for me. There you go. But I'm sure I probably, like if Prudence were listening to this, either one of them, my brother and I are married to women with the same name. And my older brother, he passed away a few years ago. But my mom, who passed away a few years ago, and just to complete the whole series, yes, my dad passed away a couple of years ago. My younger brother and I are the only ones left. But my older brother was never married, and my mom kept trying to find somebody named Prudence for him to marry because her other two sons had married Prudence. So even at my wedding, a buddy of mine was dating somebody named Prudence, and they were at the wedding, and my mom tried to recruit her to go out with my older brother, and that didn't work out. Fortunately, Arvind and Prudence got married, and at least one kid. I haven't been in touch with them in a while, but the one kid named T-Rex. Go figure. Not his name, just his nickname. Anyway, boy. Well, with all that said, why don't we just do our promos and be done with it? And then we take a break and we can talk about hockey. That's what I would like to do. I'll get back to hockey. But first, it might feel like I've already had a lot of caffeine today, but I haven't had a Quantum Energy Square. 100 milligrams of caffeine, 10 grams of protein, no junk. It is a square. I haven't measured it out to know if it's exactly a square. I do have a micrometer, but kind of, the geek city here. And FYI, my brothers were the same way. So, although my younger brother a little more loquacious than the rest of us. Anyhow, but yeah, got a square fits nicely in your cycling jersey and or pocket. Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned when I started hanging out with my wife's family who don't believe in eating. My family's, and as opposed to my family, the Southern family, my wife's family are a bunch of Yankees. But being good Southerners, most of what or at least start off talking about what we ate, what we were going to eat. We're always figuring out what we're going to eat next. Or maybe that's just because we're a bunch of guys. 3 boys growing up, you're always wondering, where's my next meal, what I'm going to have, because you're always hungry. My wife's family was a bunch of girls. So, the 3 boys are going to out-eat 3 girls pretty much any day of the week, especially teenage boys. Anyway, so food is my brother and I, we both love the Jimmy John's, and we eat there all the time and love to get a sponsorship from them. But we're always sending pictures whenever we go. We're always sending pictures back and forth to each other of us at Jimmy John's. But anyway, so I used to carry food with me. I learned that my wife's family was not going to be eating, and why you can't stop when there's fun to be had. There's no eating. And so I learned I had to carry food with me. So I would have all kinds of stuff in my pockets to eat when we were running around a park or whatever we were doing. There was no time for food. No time for food. That my mother-in-law would get mad at me if I even suggested the idea of getting something to eat. But anyway, yeah, these quantum energy squares would have been really good back then because they got a nice shape, they don't melt, and even the chocolate ones, they maintain their form, and be able to carry them around and pull them out, get some nice protein, some caffeine, and keep going. The fun doesn't have to stop if you've got quantum energy squares in your pocket. So go to quantumsquares.com, use the promo code PREDSPRO. That'll get you 25% off every day of the week, not just on the holidays or Black Friday or Christmas special. Every day of the week, the June 22nd, you 25% off, whatever day it is. And an 8-pack is $20. You can get the variety pack for $12. And I forget what the price of that one is. Was it $25? You can get the chocolate fix. Oh, they've got different variety packs now. They got the 12. They got the variety 12 pack, which comes with 12, but even though they've got 6 flavors, you only get 5, which I don't understand. And then they got their chocolate fix variety 12 pack. It comes, I guess you get 4. There are 3 different squares shown on the box. I assume you get 4 of each, and then sweet and salty, which is the other 3. So, and 12 pack. So, there you go. And I've totally missed how much those things are. What is it? One-time purchase is $28 for a pack of 12. Free shipping at $35. And Preds Pro gets you 25% off there. Okay, so I mentioned in a previous podcast that I was considering another sponsor. And so I do have Preds Pro is, again, the promo code, and the discount is 21% off, and that's higher than other places. These places, everybody and their brother seems to have discounts. I mean, I'm hearing it everywhere. At CozyEarth.com, they have stuff. They got clothing. They've got stuff for your home. They've got mats. They got robes, socks, all kinds of stuff. I like, if I'm going to give an endorsement, I like to try things out. And I went to their website, and I forget what free shipping I think is at $75. And I'm telling you, everybody, I've heard people talk about how great this stuff is. It's too expensive for my blood. I'm a T-shirt on sale is $50. It might be the best T-shirt I ever owned. I'm just saying. So their products are supposed to be real good. Preds Pro will get you 21% off there. If they heard this promo, they probably would rescind my opportunity to be an endorser. But I felt like, at least if you want to try it out, you want to go buy stuff from them, since my promo code is better than the ones I've heard, 21, I think the others are 20, so it's not a big deal, but 1% matters. Every penny counts a lot of times. And so 21% Preds Pro at CozyEarth.com. I had this stuff, and I'm like, I can't pay $72 for a T-shirt for me, and this is just so expensive. So I can't, I can't adore it. I can't say I know their products or have tried their products. All I can say is that if you want to buy something from Cozy Earth, Preds Pro, get you 21% off. What a deal! I might just stop this. Anyway. There you go, 21% off at Cozy Earth, CozyEarth.com. 25% off at quantumsquares.com. And wow. Let's just stop and talk about hockey. Okay, so Predators Proclivity, a show that's supposed to be about hockey, especially Nashville Predators hockey. All right, so so here we are. It is January 16th. There is a 3-week break. 2.5-week break coming up here in February from the 6th to the 24th. The regular season is going to stop. It's paused for the Olympics. During that time on the 11th, they're going to have an AHL All-Star Classic. So I guess the AHL is going to continue going on, but the AHL All-Star game will be on the 11th. From the 6th to the 24th, they're going to be stopped. The 25th, they'll start having games again. March 6th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time is the trade deadline. Some of the things I've been hearing is that basically this pause is going to be something like a trade deadline, but I guess not technically. So I don't think I'm really going to believe that. But if somebody's on your team and they're playing in the Olympics, I don't know that you're going to announce the trade until afterwards. But who knows who knows how this is all going to go down. But anyway, so things are going to get kind of weird in February because they're not going to be playing. There's going to be the Olympics, and off you go. And then when they come back on March 6th is the trade deadline. Speaking about that, because Marcia Show is still kind of, they put him on long-term injured reserve. So he just, I think it's in the cards. I don't think it's ever been in doubt that they're going to trade him, but where he's going to go is uncertain. They did push him out to the 17th, which pushes him back past today's game. And I thought, well, what do you know? Who are we playing on the 17th? But Vegas, which is the team that he came from. And I looked at Vegas, and Vegas's cap space is really, they are over. They're really not in a good place. And well, it says projected playoff cap space is $14 million, but they've got so many players that are injured. I think that's their biggest problem with the cap space right now. So I was looking at their looking at their stats and looking at who they've got on their roster and trying to see if I thought that it made sense for a Marchessault trade back to Vegas, and I don't think so. I just don't see it. The discussion is primarily that Vegas needs help on defense. Alex Pietrangelo, their highest paid defenseman, he's 35, $8.8 million. He's on whatever this was, SE. What is this? Long-term injured reserve, but season-ending long-term injured reserve. I mean, he's on injured reserve before the season even started. So he's not being. His salary doesn't go against their cap, so they don't have to worry about this $8.8 million this year since he's not playing. Now, whatever moves they make, what could put them into an odd position for next year. If he comes back, he does have another year on his contract, and then he's an unrestricted free agent. Of course, he's 35 now. He'll be, I don't know when his birthday is, but he could be, but he'll be 36 at least, or 37 when he's an unrestricted free agent. So it may be that he doesn't doesn't get another contract. He might just retire. Who knows? But they are looking for defensemen. Braden McNabb, 34, he's on injured reserve. He just went on injured reserve a couple of days ago. So they've got two defensemen that are on injured reserve. Braden McNabb famously was with the Kings, and when Vegas came into the league, and up and coming, everybody knew he was going to be a really good defenseman, and the Kings left him unprotected for no good reason. And so, but Harry's been with Vegas his whole career except I think one with the Kings. But anyway, so that's what I've heard, is that they're looking around for to shore up their defensive core. They have Shea Theodore, Noah Hannafin, Zach Whitecloud, Jeremy Lauzon, and Ben Hutton, Caden Korzak. But so I don't think a Marchessault trade to the Golden Knights makes sense for anybody. I was trying to see if any trade made sense, and I don't know, but I guess if we were looking, if they wanted, I don't know. I don't know what the Preds would do if they decided they wanted to get trade the defenseman to Vegas for. I don't know what they would want back. We got Nicholas Perbix that they just signed, Nicholas Hague that they just signed, Nicholas Hague they got from Vegas, and Justin Barron, Adam Wilsby, who's injured, unfortunately now, and then Brady Skay, Yossi. I mean, if you've listened to this podcast for a while, I guess you'd have to have listened for longer than just recently. I'm not a Brady Skay fan. I'm not a Brady Skay fan at $7 million a year. I have come to appreciate his ability to see where the puck is going to go and move in advance of that. And I think that is a skill that's hard to quantify, and it's a skill that I think a lot of times can go unnoticed. He did, and I have to be honest, I didn't see it either until there were a couple of games where he read a play and he stole the puck. He came all the way across the ice, charged across the ice, and stole the puck, stole a pass, and so good anticipation $7 million. I don't know. But that's what he's getting paid. So good for him. Definitely, he wasn't worth it last year. For nothing. I mean, nothing last year. But this year, maybe a little better. And but what are you going to do? So I don't know. If I was going to get rid of one defenseman, it would be Brady Skjei, and only because I don't think he's worth $7 million. Not because I don't think he's a good player and valuable to the Preds. I just think that we could. Preds aren't in cap space, so who cares? I guess. But anyway, so I don't know. I don't see a trade with Vegas, but what do I know? Anyhow, so that's. Gosh, we're still not talking about hockey. I guess we are talking about hockey, but anyway. So I don't really see a trade for Marcia Show with Vegas. I guess is the end, is the nut of that. I thought, well, let's just figure this out. I didn't look at Colorado. I guess I could have, but I'm not going to do this anyway. So speaking of Colorado is the opponent tonight, 8:00 Central Time here in Nashville. 7:00 Mountain, same time, but different time zone. And Colorado is first in the Central, first in the West, first in the league with 74 points. They are 33-4-8. At home, they are 19-0-3. They are the only team with no losses at home. None. 3 overtime losses, but no, and only just 3 losses. No overtime losses. They are the only team left in the NHL with single-digit losses, period. 33-4-8. I mean, you got the 8 overtime losses, but that, so, yeah. They are 11 points ahead of Dallas, and they've played 3 less games than Dallas. And they are 13, and Dallas is second in the NHL, by the way. And then you get to Minnesota, who is tied for third in the NHL and is third in the Central Division, third in the West as well. And they've got 13 points on Minnesota, and they played 3 less games than Minnesota. Tampa Bay is the top team in the Eastern Conference, tied with Minnesota. So they are also 13 points behind Colorado. They played the same number of games as Colorado. For Colorado, this is the 4th of a 7-game homestand. They are 2-0-1. They had an overtime loss, 3-4, to Toronto Monday. So they haven't played since Monday. Lucky Preds to be playing the best team in the league that's had 3 days off. Yeehaw. I hope they're looking past Nashville. Then after this homestand, they have 4 on the road. This is the last of 4, thank goodness, against Colorado. Colorado is 2-0-1, beating Nashville in Nashville on the 22nd of November 3-0, losing to Nashville in a shootout in Nashville December 9th, and then beating Nashville 4-2 on December 13th. Last year, the home team did win all the games, and so Colorado was 2-2 against Nashville last year. Again, Nashville has not lost at home this year. That will change at some point. Notable personnel changes coming on today. Number 20 center Ross Colton. I guess it was technically yesterday. He's expected back today. We'll see about that. Number 92 left wing Gabriel Landeskog, expected back on the 19th. You never know about this stuff because the other night Jari was in goal. So he wasn't supposed to be back for a couple more days, but there he was back and in goal. But number 7 defenseman Devon Tays, I think Tays is right. Expected back on the 21st. Number 94 left wing Joel Kiviranta, expected back on the 25th. And then number 25 Right wing Logan O'Connor, not expected back till the end of February. Month to month still, though. Month to month. On the 14th, they did activate goaltender number 39, Mackenzie Blackwood. They had brought up goaltender number 50, Trent Miner, in his while he was injured. Then he has been on the 14th also reassigned to the Colorado Eagles. On the 15th, number 93, center Zakhar Bardakov was recalled from Colorado. He was reassigned to Colorado on the 13th. I don't really understand the recall and reassigned because he's only played one game for the Eagles this year. He's played 32 games for the Avalanche. So he was reassigned, I guess reassigned, recalled. Okay, I guess it kind of makes sense. But anyway, he's solidly been playing for the Avs this year. So him being called up isn't like they're bringing up somebody who hadn't played with them. So anyway, that's your Colorado Avalanche. That's tonight's game. Tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Central Time, Vegas Golden Knights. Nashville will be visiting Vegas, and Vegas is first in the Pacific Division with 54 points, 23, 11, and 12. At home, they are 11, 6, and 6. They are 4 points ahead of Edmonton, having played 2 less games than Edmonton. As I said, they are currently 8th in the NHL. Their 12 overtime losses does lead the NHL. The Kings have 11. I think there's a team that's got 10, but anyway. This is the second game of a 3-game homestand. The second game of a 3-game homestand. Second game of a 3-game homestand. Yeah, they're 1-0. Thursday, they played Toronto and won 6-5 in overtime. That was the back end of a back-to-back. And the other game was on the road in L.A. That game was also an overtime win. After these 3 home games, they have 4 on the road. This is the second game of 3 versus Nashville. It's the last one in Vegas. Nashville won the first game on New Year's Eve, December 31st. Vegas lost 2-3 in Vegas. They will meet in Nashville, the only game in Nashville, March 21st. Last year, they split in Nashville, and Vegas won in Vegas. So Vegas was 2-1 against Nashville last year. They have a long list of people that are injured. Number 21 center Brett Howden, expected back on the 17th, which is tomorrow. Number 20 left wing Brandon Saad, also expected back tomorrow. Number 3 defenseman Braden McNabb, expected back on the 19th. Number 79 goaltender Carter Hart, expected back on the 22nd. It had been the 19th and was pushed out. Number 13 center Jakob Demek, not expected back till January 31st. Number 71 center William Karlsson, month to month. Well, I guess Demek is week to week. Karlsson is month to month. Went out on the 30th of December. He's not expected back until March 10th. Was January 19th and February 25th, and now March 10th. So I don't know what's going on there. But then number 7 defenseman Alex Pietrangelo has been out all season and not expected back until next year. So. On the good news side of things, on the 10th, they did activate number 27 defenseman Shea Theodore. Good for them. Good for Theodore. He had been week to week, expected back on the 31st. So he did come back a lot early, 3 weeks early. On the 15th, they did activate number 33 goaltender Aiden Hill, who had been day-to-day, expected back on the 15th, came back on the 15th. And on the 15th, number 28, center Tannen Lazinski was summoned from the Henderson Silver Knights. Well, that is Vegas. For your who? Nashville. Man, what a day. Nashville Predators are 5th in the Central with 48 points, 22, 20, and 4 at home. They're not at home. On road, they are 9, 10, and 2. They are 4 points behind Utah, having played 2 less games, and they are 3 points ahead of Chicago, having played 1 less game. As far as the wild card hunt, we may as well start looking at this. They are 3 points out of a wild card spot. San Jose is currently in the wild card 2 spot. San Jose is 3 points ahead of Nashville, having played the same number of games. Nashville does have the advantage in the regulation win column +2, so they would win a tie with San Jose, so we can say they are 3 points out of that spot. And Utah is in the wild card 1 spot. The other only team between Nashville and San Jose are the Kings, and the Kings have 49 points. The Kings have 1 more point than the Preds, and they played the same number of games. So that's the Preds aren't next up, but they are still in the hunt. At this point, they're in the hunt for a wild card spot. These 2 games, these back-to-back games, are the whole road trip. They were 4-3 in the last road trip, as I count it, since there were 7 consecutive games on the schedule that were on the road. The announcers called it a 6th game because the first game was before Christmas. But they call it a 7 game, and they were 4-3. Next up, 3 at home. Buffalo, Ottawa, and Utah. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Notable personnel changes. New player that is now on the list, number 83 defenseman Adam Wilsby's day-to-day expected back today. Number 41 defenseman Nicholas Haig expected back today. And 89 center Ozzy Weisblatt, still the 26th of February. Jonathan Marchessault has been put on injured reserve as of the 13th. And there have been no other transactions. So that takes us to stats, finally. All right. Well, the Preds are back on the road. They have played 21 games on the road, 25 at home. 21 games on the road, which is over 20, so it's statistically significant. The last couple have been at home, so hopefully I can still pull in here and look at my road stats. Oh, yes, there we go. First goal. Now, the Preds, I think they did get the first goal the other night. Yes, they did. They got that first goal against Edmonton, but they hadn't gotten their first goal since the Rangers. And let's just keep going back here. Okay, so the last time the Preds got the first goal on the road was December 15th against St. Louis, and that was a win. So there you go. And but it's been a while. And it's only happened 4 times this season. The Preds are 3-0-1 when they get the first goal. When they get it in the first period, they're 2-0. And when they get it in the second, 1-0-1. Now, the Preds have been doing pretty well. When the other team gets the first goal, they are 6-10-1. So that gets close to a 2-1 advantage for the opponents. But the Preds really kind of close the gap there. If it happens in the first period, they're 6-9-1. If it happens in the second period, they're 0-1-0. So, but that's all good and well. How does that relate to winning by period? Well, we know the Preds suck in the first period. The Preds have sucked in the first period pretty much all season long. They had only scored 1 goal in the first period, like the first 10 road games or something like that. They are being outscored like crazy in the first period. They are, if we start on November 26th, they're which is when they've been since they've been playing better, they've been outscored 12-20 in the first period at least. But yeah, before that it was 1-10. So the first period they're 3-12-6. Let's just get the numbers out there. They're 3-12-6 in the first period. more likely to lose than anything else, and 4 times as likely to lose than to win, and twice as likely to tie as win, twice as likely to lose as tie. So it's not been very good for the Preds. They've set themselves up in a hole, and so that's the first period, and all the stats reflect that, regardless of how you want to look at it. Moving forward to the second period, they're 7-7-7, so that's good. So they've got coin flip in any direction. If they get the first goal, regardless of when the first goal happens, they are 3-1-0 in the second period. If they don't get the first goal, they are 4-6-7 in the second period. So that's not too bad. If they get, and then we have already been through their road statistics of the second period. So, or the first goal statistics in the second period. In the third period, they are 7-6-8. So at least they've got more wins than losses. If they had gotten the first goal, they're 2-1-1 in the third period. If they don't, they're 5-5-7. So that's pretty good. As you know, what I really care about is how does that relate to wins and losses. So when the Preds win the first period, they've won the game. So they've won the first period 3 times. They've won all 3 of those games. They've lost the first period 12 times. They are 2-10. And having tied it 6 times, they are 4-2. On the second period, they've won the second period 7 times. They're 5-2. When they lose 7 times, they're 2-5. And when they tie it, they're also 2-5. So the second period definitely is better if they win the second period. I think at home I pull for them to tie, and I think on the road I wind up having to pull for them to win the second period, which I love anyway. Longtime listeners know that one of the reasons why I started doing this was because I did a bunch of data analysis because I believe that the Preds sucked in the second period at home. And that was a couple of years ago, and I was right. But now they pretty much suck in the first period on the road. You don't even have to do analysis for that. But I do like to see the Preds win in the second period because of the long time history there. As far as the third period goes, the 7 times the Preds have won the third period, they are 4-3 in those games, losing the third period 0-6. Tying at 5-3, and that's including empty nets. If we take out the empty nets, the Preds have won the third period 8 times, but they have a losing record 3-5. Taking out empty nets, they have lost the third period only 4 times, 1-3 in those, and they will have tied it the other times, and they're 5-4. Just an indicator of how the Preds are playing in the third period is why I look at that. The combinatorics of having won, lost, or tied the first period, along with winning, losing, or tying the second period, the most frequent occurrence is to lose the first and tie the second. That's happened 6 times, and the Preds are 1-4-1. Not good. The scenario that's happened the next most time, there are 2. Again, losing the first, but losing the second. And we all know if you win 2 periods, you win the game. If you lose 2 periods, you lose the game. So those 4 times, losing the first, losing the second, are all losses. So, 6 times they've tied, lost the first, tied the second, 1-4-1, lose the first, lose the second, 0-4-0. Losing the first is a bad deal. When they have tied, okay, so the last scenario with losing the first is to win the second, and they're only 1-1 in those 2 games. So losing the first is not is not really the I guess it's a predictor. I guess what's that, 10, 12 games? That's a lot of games. 12 games, and what they would be 2-9-1. Ugh, 2-9-1. Losing the first. Anyway, so the next thing that's happened 4 times is tying the first and then winning the second, and they're 3-0-1, which is their record, same record as when they when when they get the first goal, but I don't think there's a correlation there. And so those two scenarios that happened 4 times, we got one that's happened 6, and then it's like nothing else. I mean, that's everything. Twice they have lost the first and won the second, covered that. Twice they have won the first and lost the second. Those did 2-0-0. One scenario that has not happened at all is to win the first and tie the second. That hasn't happened at all. There are 3 scenarios that have happened one time. Winning the first, winning the second. It's happened once. They're 1-0. They've tied the first and tied the second, and they're 1-0. And they've tied the first and lost the second, and they're 0-1. So, yeah, I kind of I like the winning the second period. Winning the second period, at least that's happened 7 times. They're 5-1-1 in all the different scenarios. So whatever happens in the first, they need to win the second, and that's a good predictor for the Preds, regardless of how the first period worked out. Now, as I said, I do have the Preds scoring with regards to the delta in the period, and I guess in that case it would be kind of interesting to take a look at that. But they've only, when they, win the second, what did they do in the first, and how did that all relate? But I'm not going to do that extemporaneously here. So let's get past this and move on to goal scoring. Oh yeah. Goal scoring, and we start goal scoring out by talking about winning goal. On the road, the winning goal is being scored predominantly in the third period. 7 times, 33%, not a high percentage, but the highest number. Second highest is the second period with 6, 29%, and then the first and overtime have 4 each. I guess there have not been a shootout on the road so far. Preds winning 56% of the time it's happening in the third period. The only other period that has more than 1 is overtime. So 5 times in the third, twice in overtime, and once each in first and second. As far as when the Preds lose, the winning goal is also 5 times being scored in the second period, but that's 42%. 3 times in the first, which is 25%, and twice in third and overtime. And this I'm going to take a quick look at the stats after the 26th of November, just for grins. Yep, they still have a goal in the first period. I thought, well, that seems kind of. Well, it's just 1, not 3. I guess at least that's good. When the home team wins for the Preds, 25 times that's happened, equally between the second and third period, 7 times, and then the next is equal between first and overtime, 4, and then shootout is 3. So there's not a lot of distinction there. The second, third period, I guess, would be 56% of the time. As far as the road team winning, 21 times that's happened for the Preds, and 9 times in the third period for 43%. Next up is the second with 5, 24, and then overtime for 4, and the first with 3. So that's your when the winning goal is going to happen. Goal scoring, the Preds are being outscored more than 2-1 in the first period, 13-30. As I said, that's even during the stretch where they've been playing better, it's 12-20. So they've been scoring more in the first period, but they're still being outscored. Even when they win the game, they're barely outscoring the opponents 10-9. Losing the game, they're being outscored by 7 times, 3-21. And let's just take a look. 2-11 since the 26th. So they're still, when they lose, it's not that good. So the first period, the scoring is just not that good. The second period, it's better. They're almost equal with the opponent, 16-18. outscoring the opponents by 5, 10-5 when they win in the second, and they win the game, but in the second period. Being outscored 6-13 is a little better, only 2-1 in the second period when they lose the game. So overall, it's pretty close. And the Preds are outscoring their opponents 28-24 in the third period. They were the top scoring team on the road in the third. I don't think they are anymore. But they are, when they're the win or lose, they've scored 14 goals in the third period. It's just whether when they win, they've only given up 6, and when they've lost, they've given up 18. So at least that's pretty close. And so that's that is the goal scoring, which takes us to matchups. All right, so the matchups. I am not excited about this. But hey, we're going to do it. The Preds are on the road, so let's read those statistics. And so just to clear the air here, Colorado Avalanche have played 22 games at home, which is low. There are 20 teams that have played more, 6 that have played the same, and 5 that have played less. The Knights have played 23 games at home. So there's 16 teams that have played more, 3 that have played the same, and 12 that have played less. So they are kind of just slightly below. I guess 16 would be the middle of the NHL, 32 teams. And the Preds have played 21 games on the road, which is low. There are only 3 teams that. Well, there's 1 team that has played less, 2 that have played the same, and 28 teams have played more. So that's why I've gone to looking at all these stats on a per game basis, because, if you're comparing the Predators to, say, a team that has played the most road games, then it's not going to, the numbers are always going to look bad for the Preds, because if the other team has played, say 5 or 6 games more, they've had, those opportunities. And when we start talking about special teams and we talk about percentages, I go with the percentages because the percentages are percentages, and they've all played, enough games that they've got a percentage. But when it just talks about raw numbers, so that's why I like to talk about the per game numbers. So let's just start with Colorado, the team that we're playing tonight. They are scoring 4.59 goals per game at home, which is tops in the NHL. They are also in the first period, they're scoring 1.55 goals a game, which also is tops in the NHL. They are scoring 1.68 goals a game in the second period, which is tops in the NHL. They are scoring 1.36 goals in the third period, which is not tops, it's third. So, whatever the averages are, these guys are the outliers. They score. I just, even looking at raw numbers, even just the raw numbers, even though 20 teams have played more games than them, Colorado has scored the most goals in the NHL for a home team. And they've scored the most goals in the first period, and they've scored the most goals. Wait a minute, that's on the road. No. Yeah, the Preds are on the road. Yeah. So at home, but just on raw numbers, they're only 5th in the third period. They're first in the first overall, first in the first in the second. So this is a goal scoring machine, especially at home. Well, okay, maybe they give up goals. Well, let's see. Let's take a look at this. So let's see. Colorado gives up a total of 1.91 goals a game. 1.91 goals a game at home, which is last in the NHL. Okay, you want to know, 2.98 is league average. So they're giving up a goal, more than a goal less than the average. All right. Well, but I guess it's the first period, because the first period, they're actually only 26th, giving up 0.73. Average being 0.84. And then we come to the second and third period, and they are last again. 0.64, 0.50 in the second and third period, respectively. Just you score on Colorado in Colorado, get the puck, frame it. Fun. All right, how about let's talk about tomorrow night's opponent, the Golden Knights. They are sixth in the league per game, 3.52 in goal scoring. Again, the average 3.12. They are fourth in the first, 10th in the second, and 7th in the third, 1.09 in the first, league average 0.9, 10th in the second, 1.17 with the league average 1.08, and 1.22 in the third, league average 1.06. Yes, the league average is to score, for a home team, you score more goals in the second than the third. Overall, it's now 2.2% less in the third period than the second. So if a team going down, a home team scoring less in the third than the second is for a home team is consistent with the NHL average. So, but yeah, so both of these teams score. Fortunately, Vegas gives up goals. They give up 3.26 goals a game, which is seventh in the NHL. The league average 2.98, so almost 0.3 goals a game more. The first, they are the highest. They have the highest goals against in the first period, 1.17. League average 0.84. A little tougher in the second period. They're 14th, giving up one goal a game, league average 0.96. And then in the third period, 19th, still one goal a game, league average 1.09. So if you're going to get it against Vegas, it's the first period. In the first period, just raw numbers, they're second in the league in giving up goals in the first period for a home team, 27. So, yeah. So there you go. Colorado scores goals in all periods, and they don't like to give up any goals in any period. The Knights score goals in all periods, but maybe they'll give you a goal in the first, just to put you where they want you. Got them where we want them now. As far as the Predators, how are the Preds doing? Well, the Preds, 2.81 goals a game, 4. League average for a road team, 2.98, so they're still behind. They are 30th in the NHL in goal scoring in the first. We've talked about that, 0.62. League average is 0.84. They come up to 29th in the second period, 0.76 goals for, with 0.96 being league average. But then the third period, 4th in the league, 1.33 goals for, with a league average of 1.09. Yeah, so all three of these teams do like to score in the third period. And I do believe the goaltenders are still probably in goal. Sometimes, but most of the time. And okay, what about goals against? Well, the Preds are 6th in the league in goals against. Not, 7th is the Golden Knights at home, but 6th on the road. The Preds, 3.52, league average of 3.12. First in giving up goals in the first period, 1.43. The first period is just this nice, wonderful thing where they can't score and they give up more goals than anybody. Now remember, okay, so just on raw numbers, they are second. So 28 teams have played more games on the road than the Preds, but the Preds have given up more goals in the first period than only one other team. The second period, they go to 28th, hard team to score against, 0.86, league average being 1.09. So that's good. So they give up goals in the first, not so much in the second, and then they are 10th, 1.14 in the third. So yeah, it's the Preds hard team on the road to score against in the second period, but a lot easier in the first, a little easier in the third. Right. So that's encouraging. What about that? What about special teams? Yes, special teams. Okay. Thanks for bringing that up. The Preds are on the road. Here we go. The Preds are on the road. Let's see. We'll talk about the penalty kill first. Talk Colorado, tonight's opponent. They are second in the NHL in penalty kill, 86.4%. 8 goals against on 59 opportunities. They have not scored a shorthanded goal. I thought the Preds had 2. Preds have 2 shorthanded goals. Well, it says only 1. All right. I don't know. I just got this data, but I don't think this is right. I mean, it's the data from the NHL, but the Preds had 2 shorthanded goals. All right. Anyway, so Colorado, 86.4%, 8 goals against on 59 opportunities. As far as totems shorthanded per games played, they're 21st, so a little bit less than average on being on penalty kill. Goals against per games played, 32nd. So that don't get any better than that. And yet there's another team with a better percentage, I guess. But goals against per games played, they're last in the league. So that's good for them. The Golden Knights, penalty kill, not as good. 26th in lead, 75.5%. 13 goals against on 53 opportunities. They've scored 1 shorthanded goal. As far as time shorthanded per games played, they're actually last in the league. So on per game basis, they are not a team that takes a lot of penalties. Goals against per games played, 17th though. So a big differential there between time shorthanded per game played and goals against. So that's not good for them. For the Preds, 29th on the road, 73%, 17 goals against on 63 opportunities. So they've had the Knights have played 2 more games, but the Preds have given up 4 more goals than the Knights on 10 more opportunities, even though the Knights have played 2 more games. And as far as time shorthanded per games played, 19, so right in the middle of the league on the number of times that they've been shorthanded, but goals against per games played, 8th. So that ratio does not go in the right direction for the Preds. So the penalty kill for Colorado is the best, and the Vegas and Nashville are what they are. Okay, what about the power play? Colorado's power play is only 21st, 18.86%. 16 goals for on 86 opportunities. They've given up 4 shorthanded goals. 4 shorthanded goals. And power play per games played, they are tops in the league. So they get a lot of penalties on a per game basis. Granted, 86, yeah, that's a lot. What is that on raw numbers? I don't have that number. As far as goals for per games played, though, only 10th. So they're first in the league in number of opportunities per game, but only 10th in scoring goals. And I guess that explains why they're 21st in the league in the percentages. The Golden Knights are 5th at home, 26.4%, 19 goals against on 72 opportunities. So they have scored 3 more goals than Colorado on 14 less opportunities. They've only given up 2 shorthanded goals. As far as times on the power play per game play, 17th in the league. So again, in the middle of the NHL. So it sounds like the Vegas games are not penalty filled. As far as goals for per game played, 6th in the league. So even though they're 17th in number of times they're on the power play, they are 6th in scoring. That's good for them. The Preds are 16th in the league, 20.3%, 13 goals for on 64 opportunities. So they have scored 3 less goals than Colorado on 22 less opportunities. They have not given up a shorthanded goal. As far as power play per games played, they're 7th in the league, so they get more penalties than average on the road on the power play, but 13th in goals for per games played. The penalty power play for Colorado isn't stellar. Their penalty kill is really good, and it switches for Vegas. Vegas's power play is pretty good. Penalty kills is not that great. Okay. All that being said, if we take a look at the Preds specialty teams on the road, we got a preview of this a couple games ago because I read the wrong stats. The Preds are at a 30% in the first period on the power play, 6 for 20. Their power play in the second period not so good, 4 for 32, and in the third period it's 20%, 3 for 15. So I think their power play in general, their penalty kill or the power play in general is I think that was isn't that what it was? Penalty kill. 23.3% is their power play, and that holds true in the third period. The first period they're better, and the second period they're worse. As far as the penalty kill goes, what is their percentage is 73%. So I guess that's 27% for the opposition, 31% for the opponents in the first period. So first period power plays for the Preds in Preds games when the Preds are on the road, there's a lot of scoring. So 14 goals on 46 opportunities for Nashville and their opponents. So yeah, if there's a power play in the first period on the road, sounds like it's likely at least 30% that there'll be a score. Fortunately for the Preds, the opposition's power play drops to 24% in the second and 21% in the third. So it's still really high in every period. It's kind of the same situation here. So so the Preds power play gets a little bit more. Our penalty kill gets a little bit more effective as the game goes on, but the 21% is still pretty good for the opponents in the third period. The Preds power play is, I guess it's about the same. It's about the first and third period, the Preds and the opposition are running about the same. The Preds are 1 percentage point behind their opponents, 30-20 for the Preds in the first and third, 31-21 in the first and third. Just the opposition is scoring twice as many percentage-wise. So the Preds have scored 4 power play goals on 34 opportunities in the second. It's not like they're not getting their opportunities. I mean, 34 opportunities in the second for the Preds is more than any period for the opposition. 26 is the high, and that's the first period. So in the second period, the opponents are 5 for 21. The Preds are 4 for 34. So I don't know what the problem is, but the problem for the Preds on the road is primarily the first period, but the second period penalty or power play is another problem. I'd say those are the two biggest problems that the Preds have. I mean, the 4 for 34, if they would have just that's 4 more goals, right? 4 more goals and maybe a goal per game, 4 different games. Who knows how that would have changed the outcome? I mean, the Preds are in a wild card or vying for a wild card spot right now. But just imagine if they were a little bit better in the first period or the second period power play throughout the season, they would probably not be in third place in the Central, but they probably would be solidly in the wild card 1 spot. So, that's that little piece of the puzzle that they need to get remedied, and they have been scoring better in the first period. I don't know. I did this spreadsheet. I can't look at things by dates, but I probably could generate something. And I'd have to generate a whole other thing here, but I could do that. Those are pieces of the puzzle that they need to figure out in order to be a playoff team. They're not going to go to the playoffs if they're playing this badly they could go, but they're not going to make it very far if they don't improve in the first period, which they are, improve the power play in the second period, which they probably are. But those two aspects of their game have got to come along. And that's to be better on the road, and which in the playoffs they're going to be on the road, so they need to be better on the road, because that's how, if they're going to make it anywhere if they're going to make it to the playoffs, they're going to make it anywhere in the playoffs, they're going to make it on the road. So, fortunately, they played less games than everybody else, which means they've got a lot more opportunities on the road to improve. Like tonight against Colorado, the best team in the frickin' league. And tomorrow against Vegas. Boy, I can't wait for this weekend to be over. I'm telling you, Colorado is going to lose at home. Colorado's going to, I don't know how many road games they've got left, but they're going to lose at home. They're not even halfway through the season. They're going to lose a couple games at home. They're going to lose one. You got to lose one to lose two. You heard it here first. Not making predictions is not the strength of this podcast, but hey, they are going to lose. May not be to the Preds, but they're going to lose. Let's hope it's to the Preds. And tonight. All right. That takes us to people to watch. Fortunately, Colorado, Nathan MacKinnon, number 29 center, Nathan MacKinnon. He's kind of like Connor McDavid. He's on the ice all the time. He's third on the team, 21-22 on the ice. He's first in goals. He's first in assists, first in points, first in shots. 21-22, so he's on the ice for over a third of the game. Next up is number 88 center Martin Necas. He's second in goals, second in assists, second in points, second in shots. There you go. I bet they're on the same line. I bet they are on the same line. But I don't know. Who am I looking at? Previewing the lineups here just for fun. MacKinnon and Necas. Let's see. MacKinnon and Necas. What do you know? MacKinnon's the center. Necas is on the right wing, and Laakkonen goes out there and earns a salary. Also on the ice a lot. I didn't see how much Necas was on the ice, but not the top. But yeah, number 8 defenseman Cale Makar. Third in assists, third in points, first in time on ice. So there you go. Those three guys. Number 8, 88, and 29. MacKinnon, Necas, and Makar. The other people of note, leading the team in shooting percentage with 27.3 is number 11 center Brock Nelson. He centers the second line. So he centers the second line. He's first on the team in shooting percentage at 27%. He's second on the team in goals with 12. So he's got 12 goals on 44 shots. And then number 28, defenseman Ilya Solovyev. No, that's not right. Solovyev. He's on the third line of the defense. 20% shooting percentage, but only one goal in 5 games. He's been out though. He's been out since the beginning of November through the beginning of January, and he's only played 5 games since. And he's got one goal and 3 shots at home in that 5-game stretch. So since he's come back at the beginning of January, he's 33%. But overall for the season at home, he's 1 for 5, but he was out since the beginning of November. So I don't know what to think about that number, but he's on the third line of the defense. Solovyov doesn't look like he plays on the power play and or on the penalty kill. So there you go. Third line defenseman, and I don't know what to think about that. That's kind of I got to think about that. So that's Colorado. Vegas gets crazy. How many people do I have on my spreadsheet today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 people. I mean, they got 20 people on the roster. Come on. And 2 of them are goaltenders. So basically, I mean, don't take your eyes off these guys. Mark Stone, number 61, leads the team in goals with 10. 3 guys have 9. These are home statistics. Remember, I break things up by home and road. So all the statistics you heard about Colorado were all home statistics. So these are home statistics for Vegas. 3 guys have 9 goals and second on the team. That's Barbashev, Herzl, and Dorofoyev. Pavel Dorofoyev. My name is Pavel Dorofoyev. I will destroy you. Dorofoyev. Number 16, right wing Pavel Dorofoyev. Number 48, center Thomas Herzl. And number 49, left wing Ivan Barbashev. So those three players all have 9 goals, makes them second on the team. Herzl is second on the team in shots with 67%. Okay, so now Mark Stone is third on the team in shooting percentage. So he leads the team with 10 goals on 41 shots, 24.4% shooting percentage, third on the team in shooting percentage. Barbashev, second on the team in goals with 9, fourth on the team in shooting percentage, 24.3%. So 9 goals on 37 shots. So those are two guys, I'm assuming they're on the ice a lot, and probably the first line, and their shooting percentage is nuts for guys like that. And so then we go down to Mitch Marner, who leads the team in assists with 22, leads the team in points with 30. That's number 93, right wing Mitch Marner. Number 9, center Jack Eichel, second on the team in assists with 17, third on the team in points with 24, third on the team in time on ice. So he's the forward on the ice the most, 21.46. So he's the first in shots with 77. And then you've got defenseman 27, Shea Theodore, back off, reactivated. I don't think he was on injured reserve, but he was out, whatever. First on the team and ice time 23.58. So then you've got 3 guys who are over 20%. Brett Howden, number 21 center Brett Howden, 25%, first on the team, 5 goals on 20 shots, but he's injured. Then you've got also first on the team, 25% is number 23 left wing Cole Reinhardt, but he's only got 1 goal on 4 shots, so 25%. And then Ben Hutton, defenseman number 17, 4 goals on 18 shots. He's fifth on the team in shooting percentage, 22.2. So you've got 5 guys on the team, one's injured, with a shooting percentage of over 20, and 2 of the guys are the top line of the of Vegas. I'm pretty sure that's the top line of Vegas. I guess I can do a little bit extemporaneous research here and preview the lineups for that game. And Barbashev and Stone on the first line with Eichel. I guess that all makes sense. So there you go. And then the defenseman, Theodore. Theodore's first with Lazan. Lazan first line of defense. So there you go. That's Vegas. That's a lot. But Stone and Barbashev, 61 and 49, the first line. There you go. Watch out. For Nashville, leading the team on the road in goal scoring is number 91 center Steven Stamkos with 9. Second on the team is number 71 right wing Matthew Wood with 7. Stamkos is second on the team in points, second on the team in shots. Matthew Wood is tops on the team in shooting percentage at 22.6%. His 7 goals, second on the team with 31 shots. Luke Evangelista leads the team in assists with 13, number 77 right wing, tied with number 90 center Ryan O'Reilly at 13 assists. O'Reilly is tops in points with 19, third on the ice now, 19:35 in ice time. So he's the forward on the ice the most. He's tops on the team is defenseman Roman Josi, with tops on ice time, 23:38. He's also third on the team in shots with 46. Leading the team in shots is number 9 left wing Philip Forsberg with 52. The only other player with a shooting percentage over 20 is number 49 left wing Reed Schaefer. 9 shots, 2 goals, 22.2%. All right, players to watch. Now, momentum. Colorado. They are 19-0-3 at home. They did have an overtime loss in their last game, which ended a 2-game winning streak after they had a 2-game losing streak, which is hard to imagine. But that 2-game losing streak came after a 10-game win streak. They are 7-2-1 in their last 10. They are 2-0-1. They are not 2-1 in this homestand. They are 2-0-1 because they have not lost at home in regular time. And against the Central, they are 8-0-4. Now, I don't know how you define better momentum. Well, one way is Vegas. Vegas has a 6-game winning streak, and the last 2 were back-to-backs and an overtime for them. The 6-game winning streak, also the first game was in overtime, so the 6-game winning streak, 3 of them went to extra time. They are 11-6-6 at home and 6-3-1 in their last 10. They are 1-0 so far in this homestand. They were 2-0 in the last, and they are 5-5-3 against the Central. So both of those teams have good momentum, all ready for a big road win. Hey, the Preds have won their last 2 games. On the road, they are 9-10-2, 6-4-0 in their last 10. Their last road trip, they were 4-3, and these 2 games are a back-to-back, which takes us to back-to-back stuff. But let's but they're back-to-back. They're 6-8-2 against the Central, which is what Colorado is in, and 7-3-1, which is their best record against any division, which Vegas is in. So far this season, the Preds are 7-7 in back-to-back games. On the road, they are 3-3. On the road, in the front half of these back-to-backs, they are 3-0. They have not lost the front end of a road back-to-back yet this season. Granted, only 3 data points. Saros was in goal for 2 of them, and Noonan was in goal for 1. As far as the back end, they have not won the back end of a road back-to-back. They are 0-3. So Saros is 0-1, and Noonan is 0-2. So they, their last 2 last back-to-back was on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. They beat Vegas 4-2, and here we are playing Vegas again in a back-to-back situation. So both games so far against Vegas have been in back-to-back, and guess what? We get to play Vegas in another back-to-back. So 3 games against Vegas this year will be in back-to-back situations. And I think we only play Vegas 3 times, right? Isn't that what I said earlier? Vegas. This is the second of 3. Yeah, so Vegas and Nashville will be playing 3 times this year, and it will be a back-to-back situation for Nashville all 3 times. And the 2 games in, and Vegas is not in a back-to-back situation in any of them so far. Let's just take a quick look. Saturday, Monday, and then the last one it will be the front end. They play at Nashville and then at Dallas. So the Preds will be in back-to-back situations all 3 times that they play Vegas, and Vegas will be in a back-to-back situation once. We'll play Vegas in the front end, and then go play we'll play Vegas at home and then at Chicago, and then and Vegas will be at Nashville and at Dallas. So we'll see. I haven't looked at Vegas's back-to-back records, but yeah, the Preds so far playing Vegas in back-to-backs for all 3. That's kind of messed up in my opinion. Yeah. So as far as the away games go, the Preds are 3-3. All 3 wins coming on the front end, all 3 losses coming on the back end. I guess we will see how that changes this weekend. Colorado, Vegas. That's right. We are in a back-to-back situation playing the Colorado Avalanche in Denver and the Vegas Golden Knights in Las Vegas. This weekend, both of those teams are tops in their division. Both of those teams have great momentum. Colorado did lose their last game in overtime, but have not lost a game at home. Vegas has a 6-game winning streak. The Preds have a 2-game winning streak. It's a collision of the Titans. Well, maybe it's a collision into 2 Titans, but yeah, The Preds have 2 big games. You're not looking past Colorado to Vegas. That's for sure. So the Preds' focus will be challenged. The Preds' focus will be challenged this weekend. All right. Let's hope it turns out good. Let's hope for a couple of good periods, good first periods. Good first periods, win the second period. Let's go. Go Preds. Thanks for listening. I'm Preston Proctor, and you've been listening to Predators Proclivity.